Preparing to live stream.
Put on Zoom call on full charge. It'll die after like 40 minutes.
Any type of face call or video chat during your phone.
It's almost set up here.
There you go.
Man, I should have had a headphone.
Shit right here.
All right, bro. Appreciate it, bro.
Good luck, man.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, the live stream is coming in. All right, I think we all good now. Let me just put that on mute. You still can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect.
Okay, great. If we get any people to comment in the chat, just make sure you guys hold off until the end. We'll answer some of those questions towards the end here, after we get done having our conversation. So I just want to get that heads up. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my introduction and get started. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. Am I in a good view right here, or?
Yep, you perfect right now.
Perfect. All right,
Yes.
let's go.
Yes, sir. Okay, welcome to the A B.E.T podcast, where we talk about the intersection of barbering, entrepreneurship, and technology. Today's special guest is a barbershop owner. He's also a part of Scalp Micropigmentation Team Inc. DFTD, and he teaches classes out of Grand Prairie, Texas. He's also known for paying attention to details on his haircuts and keeping a conversation great during the cut. He's also in the process of running a successful barbershop, and I think you guys are going to enjoy today's conversation. So without any further ado, let's give it up for barber, shop owner, and Team Inc. DFTD specialist, Mr. Allen the Great. How are you today, Allen?
I'm doing good, sir.
All right, man. I'm glad to have you, man. We had a little bit of technical difficulties going on right there, but we was able to get it in.
Yeah, we made it happen though.
We made it happen. Hey, man, I never been to Grand Prairie, Texas, man. How is the weather out there in Grand Prairie?
Oh, it's good, man. It's hot in the summer. You know, it's Texas. You know, DFW.
Okay. It's in the DFW area.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I got to get down there, man. I never been out to Texas before, man. When I think about Texas, man, I just think about cowboys and horses and stuff like that, man.
Cowboys?
you a Dallas Cowboys fan, I see.
Of course, man. It's the city.
Hey, man, I'm Pittsburgh Steeler, man. How'd y'all do this past season?
Super Bowl like every year.
All right, man. Well, let's go ahead and just kind of get into the conversation here, man. Now, one of the things that you mentioned that you are able to pay attention to details. And so what I wanted to ask you is what's your secret to being able to pay attention to details on a haircut, especially while keeping a great conversation going with your clients?
Well, I mean, you know, when clients come in, you want to keep a good conversation because you want to make sure that client is like gonna turn into your regular, you know what I mean? And you gotta, when you cut their hair, you want to make sure you put your own flair into it, put your own taste into it, you know what I mean? To make it different. You don't want to be the same person, like you don't want to be like any other barber. So I got a unique style that I do to like make haircuts look like I did that haircut. You know what I mean?
Right. You got your own signature. Type, yeah.
You know? I got my signature fade, my detailing, the way I look at things and do it. It's my signature blend, you know? So a signature blend, my edge ups, you know, all that, everything I do is like, it's different. I made sure it was different from every other barber, you know?
Okay. So how much does your conversation come into play with your haircuts? You said that you always are good for keeping a good conversation going on. Like, do you ever get into conversations that maybe go beyond the haircut, maybe make the haircut take longer or anything like that? Like, how do you balance keeping a conversation within the time frame of the service?
Sometimes it does take a little longer, but you know, I pace myself. because I talk and I work, and conversation is key, man. We get into some stuff like sports or boxing or
Right, right,
anything,
right.
and we just get in the zone. But I kind of look at the time too, because I get pretty booked up, so I try to keep it, keep it on time. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. Yeah, man, I struggle with that, man. If I'm one of those barbers that if I get to talking too much, man, I'll start going over my time and the client to be there for, I'll be kidnapping the client, making him stay there for a long. But
Hey, for real, huh?
yeah,
You
man,
stop, you stop what you're doing. I bet
yeah,
you
man,
stop what you're doing. See, my
yeah, it's
hands keep
hard.
moving. My
Okay,
hands
okay,
keep
okay.
moving even when I talk. And like I've been doing it for so long, I don't get lost in the process. You know what I mean?
Right. So is it like that's what I was gonna ask you. So I guess for you, it's almost like second nature or like, riding the bike when it comes to, cutting the client and staying focused on the haircut and what you're doing
Hmm.
while you still talking to the client.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, that's yeah. I mean, a lot of my barbers, people is different. I guess you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when I got out of school, I was trying to build some clients, and I used to come out, and I don't even say a word sometimes. But then I think to myself, man, it's kind of awkward. Just it's so quiet in a chair. We're just doing our thing. So I mean, to start talking about a few things, and it's interesting to me because you don't know who's gonna sit in my chair.
Uh-huh.
You could be cutting a boss, you could be cutting a doctor, you could be cutting anything, a business owner, you know what I mean? You just start connecting with all these people that sit in your chair. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think that's what I love. That's why I love my job. Like I don't know who's gonna be sitting in my chair, you know what I mean? And that's
Right.
why the conversation starts.
Right, right, right.
Like, how you hear about us, and how you hear about me. So that's where it starts, and that's where the conversation go. And then usually what set me apart is, I always give a lot of clients like, hey, bro, I think this will look better on you. You know what I mean? From my
Making the
experience, you know what I
recommendations.
mean? Recommendation is key, man. And most of the time, people that sit in my chair, they're like, hey, man, I trust you, man. Do what you do. And then next you know it, they book another appointment when they leave the chair. You know what I mean? So I know I'm
Right.
doing good.
That's good. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Now I know that one of the things that you also provide for a service is the scalp micropigmentation, and that's really trending right now, on social media, out there in the market for, men's haircuts and styles and different things like that. Tell us a little bit more about the scalp micropigmentation and your affiliation with Team Inc. DFTD.
Team Inc. defeated. It all started with me and my buddy,
Oh, I'm saying
Johnny.
Team DFTD and his Team Inc. defeated. Okay, so that
Yes,
I'm like,
sir.
man, this is a tough one to say. Well, okay, Team defeated. That's a lot cleaner.
Inc. defeated. Yes,
Inc.
sir.
defeated. Inc.
Inc.
defeated.
defeated. Yeah, me and my partner Johnny T. He's a barber also. Um, he actually did it first, and I was like, and this was like probably 3 to 5 years ago, and I was like, damn, what is this? I was new to it too.
Mm-hmm.
So he got into it. He told me about it. I took a class on it. And it just interests me, and then a lot of our friends, a lot of people around, um, when we do S&P on them, pigmentation on them,
Mm-hmm.
they came out like people are happy, bro. Just
Mm-hmm.
like when I cut people's hair, it's like, damn, it's the same strive.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, damn, bro, we're doing so good with this. We're doing all the homies, and we got more clients coming because people refer people to us because they see our work out there. So we just
And
started
you
doing
guys
a
probably
lot of
get people
people
from all over the country too, right?
all over the states. Yes, all over the
Okay,
states.
yeah, yeah.
So we're like, hey man, you know what? Let's instead of recommending people to go learn it from here, man, we got the skills to teach.
Mm-hmm.
So we just put this team together and made it happen. We had a
Mm-hmm.
couple of classes already.
Okay.
So yeah.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, we got a couple of classes going on, and we're just trying to do more of these classes, at least once a month or so, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To get more things going. I know we got things going on right now. I'm running a shop, it's a newly shop too. It's only been open for a year and a half, it's been pretty busy. So So me and my partner's having a baby, so you know, congrats to him. And we just kind of slowed down, but we're gonna get back on track.
Okay, so what's when a customer wants to book a SMP service with you, what's that customer experience like for them when they actually come in? Like a lot of people are still being educated about, you know, the service and what it is and what it can do for them. What's that customer experience like when they come in for the service?
Well, at first, man, they don't know how this is gonna look. They don't have a clue, bro. You know. So when they come in, we give them a consultation. We actually walk them through, tell them what we're gonna do. Kind of like draw the areas where he need to get done, and then we also show him how it's gonna look
Hmm.
after, you know,
Hmm.
and then we talk about prices and everything after that, and how
Okay.
long it takes, the healing process, you know.
Do you get a lot of people that come in that are nervous when it's time to get the work done?
I think everybody get nervous because there's a tattoo on your head, man.
Right, right,
You
right.
know, it's a tattoo. So I mean, everybody's like, oh man, they nervous how it's gonna come out and look, you know.
Right.
But most of the times, I mean, we got no complaints right now, man. Our work is out there. Nice.
So what's the pain threshold? Do you use any type of like is it any type of numbing cream that you guys use? You said it's like a tattoo on your head, or is it just
Um,
straight boom 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 tap 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 at it?
you can use numbing cream, but I don't recommend it because ink doesn't really stay in your skin too long when you use
Okay.
numbing cream, you know.
Okay.
But we do most of the guys they just go in it, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
They just go
And
in
I
it.
and I see you tatted up, man. I'm right there with you, man. So
Yes,
um
sir.
right now, do you do tattoos or do you just stick to the SMP?
No, I don't do tattoos, man. Just strictly SMP. Tattoo and SMP is different, you know.
Hmm.
Every 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 tattoo artist, they will tell you like it's just dots, you know, but it's more than dots, man. It's actually technique that you got to use, you know what I mean?
Right, right, right.
Yeah, from the needle to the ink, you know?
Uh-huh. So,
Yeah.
what would you say are some of the differences between the SMP, or not even just the differences, but some of the advantages between the SMP and the hair transplant? Because I know with you being in the hair restoration business,
Hmm.
you probably heard about the hair transplant, people going out to Turkey, you know, that's real big right now. Like
It's
what would
real
you
big,
say?
yes.
Yeah, like what would you say some of the advantages are to the SMP over the hair transplant?
Well, SMP is really it's pretty different because SMP is more like um it's a illusions, you know, it's a hair illusion, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
And hair transplant is actually real hair put in your head, you know? But but for some reason, like I still do people that did hair transplant. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna ask you that because I got some clients that said they trying to get both. I got one client said he gonna get the SMP
Hmm.
and the transplant. Would you recommend that?
Yeah, I did them before. It's just that hair transplant, um, your hair is thin, you know, it's not thick. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? So you
Mm-hmm.
put some hairs up here, but it'll be real thin. You know, people can still see the scalp. Most of the guys that does hair transplant, they want it thick, like you know, mine is. So we go in there, SMP artists go in there and we'll dense it up, you know. We'll put some dense work in your hair. So it'll
Mm-hmm.
look pretty dark and it'll look illusion. It'll look like hair illusions, you know.
Mm-hmm. Now, is that something that the clients will have to get done every so often, or does it fade, or how long does the SMP usually last before they?
SMP lasts pretty long, you know what I mean? Once you get it done, there's first session, second session, three sessions, this third sessions, you know. There's three
Mm,
sessions in this, but I mean the third session definitely will make it pop out. First sessions look very good also. So most people just get the first session and they're set, you know.
they said that's it
But
right there.
once it start fading away or like kind of get lightened up, you know what I mean? They want to come get retouched, you know. So we'll
Okay.
go ahead and do the second session or third session. But I recommend go ahead and do your 3 sessions on it, you know. It'll last
Mm-hmm.
longer and the technique will show the hair more, a lot more, like the illusions a lot more, you know.
Right. So for anybody that might be watching, like what would you recommend to somebody that's kind of skeptical or either just nervous about getting the SMP service? Like what would you recommend to kind of calm them and let them know like, hey, this is okay. This is a good service.
S&P is a great service, man. If you're missing your edge up, if you're losing hair, if your hair's thinning out, if you just want that clean edge up, man, S&P is the way to go, instead of getting hair transplant.
Mm-hmm.
That's in my opinion,
Is it a big cost difference or anything like that between the S&P and the hair transplant?
Um, People have different prices, it's set on them, but our prices is fair enough, because it looks good. I mean, it's gonna look good, and we're not trying to, you know, beat the like take your money. We want to make it fair for both of us.
Right, right,
We
right,
know
right,
how it is. It's hard
right,
out here.
right.
Yeah.
For sure, man. Now I know that you mentioned that you had just recently opened up a barber shop, man. How long have you been a shop owner now?
I've been a shop owner for about a year and a half, bro. Going on two right now.
Okay, how's it been treating you so far?
Man, blessed. Blessed,
Uh,
very blessed. Yes,
okay,
sir.
okay. You was it a big adjustment for you to go from being a barber to a shop owner? I know it's a whole different another skill set, outside of just cutting hair. How was the adjustment for you?
Yeah, it's a big difference, man. You got to look at everything a business standpoint, Then your own like I'm taking care of people and their families now, So
Mm-hmm.
I got to make sure this place run good and make sure everybody eat,
Mm-hmm.
and
So
and make sure the business run is
what
different.
what made you want to make the switch to becoming a shop owner? I know a lot of barbers say, that's one of the big goals. Like, what was it for you that made you want to say, okay, I'm about to be a shop owner now?
I mean, being a shop owner, man, I open up a shop, man. I want everybody to um show everybody that I want to get this. You could like, I don't know, man. Just being a barber is just it's different, man. Owning a shop, you want that strive, for everybody to get that strive in them to open up a shop and let people see what you could do, like getting
Mm-hmm.
barbers in here. That's hard enough already. Picking out the barbers. Putting your name on the line is hard, so you got to be really picky and make sure everybody put in the same work as you do and everybody good. It pushes you, man, because you want to see everybody succeed just like you did.
Mm-hmm. So what's your process? I was talking to another barber, and we kind of got into the conversation about shop ownership and hiring new talent, bringing new barbers in. And he mentioned the same thing that you just said, in terms of like being picky with your barbers and having like a screening process. Like, what's your strategy for bringing barbers in to make sure that that they're a good fit for the Superior Barbershop?
Most of the barbers here, man, they come in. I could just tell, like, hey, they have a vision for this, they have a
Uh-huh.
vision for this, and see how far they want to take it. Because everybody I hire here, man, I go 100 with it. You know what I mean? Like, you get you get the whole marketing process, everything with it, because you're here representing my name, man. I'm gonna represent you to the fullest, also.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just look at like, hey, they got a vision. They have a vision to learn. They have a vision to take barbering to the next level. So that's where my hiring starts. See how they come at it, their
Right.
communication skills, their business skills, all that stuff come a long way with it. So that's
So,
that's how I look at it.
like, are you guys doing like a booth rent structure or a commission structure in your shop?
Booth rent. We do booth rent here. We do booth rent. Some of the new guys that come in, and they don't, and some of the new guys come in, they usually be like, like, man, scared, like
Yeah.
they don't think they can make booth rent. So I'm
Right.
like, okay, I'll give you a chance. You could try percentage at first,
Uh-huh.
but most of the time they're like, hey man, can I do buffering instead? After that week is done. But the business is actually, man, I'm blessed to have a business that boomed this quick, you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty.
what have you been experiencing? You said it's boom so quick. Like what has that experience been for like for you?
Oh man, it just it's been pretty it's been pretty hectic because you gotta kind of, man, you gotta make sure everybody is taken care of. Like we
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of walk-ins that come in. I gotta make sure everybody's taken care of, make sure everything runs smooth, bro. And you actually gotta use your head a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
It's a thinking process. You really gotta go home and you really gotta think of a plan, make sure that plan works.
Mm-hmm.
And so far it's been doing okay, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So I'm sorry, go ahead.
everybody here, they play their part. So
Mm-hmm.
to keep the business running smoothly. So
So now I know I used to be a barbershop owner as well. And we had a booth rent structure in place.
mhm, mhm,
So when it comes to you bringing in new talent and new barbers, and you mentioned that barbers sometimes they feel like they might struggle in the beginning or not be able to pay booth rent. Like
mhm.
you got, and then there's that moment when you got to kind of have that conversation, like with them. Are you going to go out and get your clients, or do they expect the barbershop to bring the clients? Like what's your perspective in terms of the barbershop bringing clients into the shop versus the barber bringing the clients into the shop for a barber to be able to pay booth rent? Because that's kind of like a big debate going in the industry.
Over here at Top Notch, man, it goes both ways. I try my best on marketing the shop and everything to where we get walk-ins come in. But at the same time, I tell them y'all got to put y'all part in also. Y'all got to
Mm-hmm.
make sure y'all guys promote yourself also. I
Uh-huh.
I do what I can. I mean, it's your job to keep the clients coming, get new clients.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it works. But most of the time, man, everybody here is pretty good at marketing themselves, man. So I'm like, okay, that's good. That's good. So, I mean, it goes both ways, 50-50 with each other, man. We good.
Right, 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 right. So
Yes, sir.
do you ever get any barbers, or have you ever had any barbers in the past that have been able to, or that have not been able to stay at the barbershop because they wasn't able to pay booth rent or anything like that?
Nah, I'm blessed to not have one yet.
Okay.
Nah, not yet. Well, I have one. I have one guy. He was a good
Uh-huh.
barber. He was on a come up also. And he left because he had an old job before and his job paid very good. He
Mm-hmm.
went he had an aviation job, so he was like, man, I need insurance and stuff. So he went ahead and just, hey bro, I'm gonna put barbering on hold.
Okay.
And I mean, I don't blame him for that. If he's making pretty decent money and getting insurance, yeah, I don't mind it. I'm like, hey man, go ahead and do your thing, bro. And whenever you're ready to come back, you're always welcome.
Right, right, right.
But I
Okay.
I haven't had a barber like that yet.
Hey, that's good, man. That says a lot about you, man. Do you
Yes,
guys have
sir.
a lot of barbershops in your city? Or is, because I know in some
There's a
cities
lot
it's
of
like one on every corner.
it's in our city. Yes, we have them everywhere. It's everywhere. Um, it's a lot, man. It's a lot out here in Dallas Fort Worth area, man. Everybody's opening up barbershops here, man. So top notch here, man. We just got to be different, bro. I got to be
Yeah.
different from every other shop. Got to be top notch.
Right, 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 right. How long have you been cutting hair now? How long have you been in the barber industry?
Man, I say about 6 years, man. I've been in the game for about 6 years.
Okay.
I,
And
yeah,
and you said you've been a barbershop owner for about a year and a half now?
yes, sir.
Okay. What
Yes,
were you
sir.
doing? What were you doing before you start cutting hair, before you got into the barber game?
Man, I was working a 9 to 5, man. I was working 9 to 5. I
Mm.
was working at warehouses.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know how it is, man. I was working, trying to make that ends meet. You
Yeah.
know, it wasn't really paying off much. I was just getting by check to check.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just like, hey man, I cut hair. I was cutting hair like when I was younger, and then I was like, hey man, I think I jumped in the right time, man, because barbering was booming at that time, when I started.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just like, hey man, I'm gonna sign myself up to school,
Right, right,
and
right.
did it. So
So now you said you was cutting hair when you was younger. How old were you when you started cutting when you was younger?
we was cutting each other's hair, what, back in middle school,
Okay.
going on high school, cutting each other's hair, me and the homies, and making sure we look fresh, you know how it is, you know.
So you
But
was
back
taking the
then,
you was taking the
but
clippers to school?
oh man, we just, hey, after school
Okay,
or
okay,
the day
okay.
before, like, hey
Okay.
man, can you give me a fade real quick? But the fades back then is easier than the fades now. These fades now is a whole different story from back then, bro.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, it's a lot of technique and a lot of skills on these fades nowadays
Hmm.
than back then.
Yeah. Now, did you ever think about becoming a barber back when you were younger? Like, or why did you not go into the barber industry, back then if you had already, started the process of cutting hair?
Because back then, barber industry wasn't really making money like how it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Back then they were charging about $8, $10, $15. When I
Mm-hmm.
when I went to barber school and I got out of barber school, I started out making $15 a head, $15,
Yeah.
$20 with a
Right,
haircut
right,
and beard.
right, right.
Now I'm charging way more than that, double that now. And man, all I gotta say is, man, these kids that get out of school nowadays are lucky, bro. Lucky we put that in place for them.
Right. So, um, when you said you were working at the warehouse,
Mhm.
you said you were kind of, doing a check to check thing. It really wasn't working for you. Was it something that triggered you to say, "Hey, I'm going into cutting hair now"? Like you said, I've been cutting hair when I was a kid or since I was young. Like
Yeah.
what was it that triggered you to say, "Okay, I'm about to go into barbering"? Is it just that you saw the barber industry was booming? Like, did you see it on social media or was it somebody that
Well,
spoke to you?
well, at first, man, I was always a guy that tried to get it, you know what I mean? Like I was always trying to level up everywhere I go. I was always trying to level up and try to do better for myself. So
Mm-hmm.
I was working at this job, man. I was working there for about 7 years. I climbed my ranks up. I was trying to be a supervisor, a manager or something plenty of times, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I get these interviews and they always turn me down, you know. So I'm like, man, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of working here too. And
Right.
then my cousin Phil out there in Arkansas actually told me about, yo, man, I went to barber school because he was working too, and he quit his job and went to barber school. And he was like, bro, you need to do the same, man. He was like, right now is a good time to jump on the game. And barbering is
Shout out to
good for
Phil.
like good. Yeah. So I talked to my cousin Phil, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do the same thing, man. So I went to school. Um, I went to Caliber Barber College here in Grand Prairie, and
Mm-hmm.
uh and uh and they taught me everything I learned. Instructor Joe helped me out a lot, man. He helped me to do these fades that they do nowadays. It wasn't the same. So I learned a lot of skills from him. And going to barber school and just took it to another level and I knew I was gonna open up a barber shop sooner or later. But I had to
Mm-hmm.
get my feel in a barber shop first.
Right. Right. So when you had graduated barber school and it was time for you to go into a barber shop, how was that transition for you? Like what did some barbers when they come out of barber college and they say, okay, I got my license now, I can cut hair, but then they struggle a little bit with the business side of,
Yeah.
the barber industry. Like how was that transition for you to be able to be like, okay, this barber thing is actually working now for me?
Um, I always had a good business, my friend. I was always good with money and stuff like that on my business side.
Mm-hmm.
But when I came out, I went to a barber shop it was an experience because I had to learn a lot from working at a barbershop,
Mm-hmm.
because you want to get to the level that these guys are on. These guys are cold-blooded, you know what I mean? So these guys
Right,
are
right,
good,
right.
and you just like, damn, how you do that? You know what I mean? So you just kind of like trying to get on their level, when you fresh out of school, like. So I just keep watching them, learn, ask questions, and
Mm-hmm.
just put your own twist into it. That's what I did, man. I'm Asian, so I mean, you don't see a lot of Asian barbers out there, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So I really had to prove myself um, a lot.
Mm-hmm. So what type of what was your how was your marketing, coming out of Barber College? Like what type of marketing tactics or strategy did you use, to try to build your clientele up for you to make this barber thing work for you?
A lot of my supporters, man, a lot of my homies out there came through and um, came and got a haircut and just supporting me to the fullest, from school.
Mm-hmm.
I still cut a lot of friends. I thank them for that. Um, they just spread the word out that I was cutting hair and people want to come check me out, and also I use social media to the fullest, I was shooting videos, I got a lot of friends that, are they got videos, they make videos. So I told them go ahead and just shoot some videos for me. Uh, Social media is key, and taking pictures, man. Just keep posting, posting on
Mm-hmm.
social media is key, man. That's really put me to where I'm at today, and still
Okay.
people still trying to find out who I am, like
Right.
sending recommendations like, oh, you cut so's hair. That's why I came to check you out. People drop 45 minutes away, an hour, just come check me out. People fly in here when they're visiting Dallas. They
Mm-hmm.
just book an appointment with me before they touch down, That's blessed though.
For sure, definitely. Like, what
Right.
did you stay at the same shop till you opened up your own barber shop, or did you have to go to a couple different shops like before you open up your shop now, or were you able to stay in the same one?
Oh no, I started out only went to one barbershop, that's it. And
Okay,
then I opened
okay.
up my own. Yes, sir. I stayed loyal.
That's good, man. So now
Yes,
that you
sir.
a shop owner, um, do when you hire barbers in, do you kind of reflect back on that process of what it was like for you when you was coming into the barber game and try to use that information to school your new barbers coming in to work in your shop?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, I tell them my experience, and how I did it, So I
Mm-hmm.
bring up old examples all the time, or things that might help them because they're newer than I am, From
Mm-hmm.
my experience, I'll just give them advices and stuff like that to get better where they need to be too, and show
Mm-hmm.
them my skills also.
Okay. So what type of challenges did you face when you was coming into the barber industry? Sometimes, you know, whether it's coming into barber college. I don't know how it is in Texas, but in Ohio, we had to do 1,800 hours. And doing that 1,800 hours, we was going to school from 9 to 5. And so, it was hard to work and still make money, so that was
Yeah.
always a big challenge for us. Like what kind of challenges like did you have, as you was trying to come into the industry?
Well, the challenge that I had was like we had over here in Texas, man. At that time when I went to school, it was 1,500 hours, that we had to put
Okay.
in. We had to put in
Okay.
1,500 hours, and I was working too at that time. I mean, it was. I was there though, man. I was there. I was there till like when I get off work, I work third shift. When I get off work, I'll go straight to school, stay there as long as I can. I was always trying to put in my time,
So you was
and
doing third shift and then you were going to barber school right after that. So you weren't going to sleep.
I was sleeping in class though. But they know that, oh, this guy was working last night. But I'll be on the floor, I'll be on the books. The books was a little more challenging because I have to learn all that stuff in the books, about your hair, your blood, all kinds of stuff on the book, chemicals. I mean, you got to learn that stuff first. So I mean, just the challenging was just getting on the floor, learning how to cut, put in them hours, and that's it. Waiting for the test. That test. After that test, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
But over here now, you don't have to do 1,500 hours. Over here in Texas is 1,000 hours now.
Oh man, that's love
Yeah,
right
they broke
there.
it down to 1,000 hours, bro.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's easier
love.
for the barbers out here.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, man. Man, they need to do that across the whole country because, boy,
They should,
hey,
right?
yeah, man. Our program was out, doing 1,800 hours. You can get it done in 9 months, but it'll normally take somebody
Damn,
around 11 months to finish the whole thing.
dang. Over here, 1,500 hours, you should get done in 9 months. Even 1,000 hours, man. It's probably what, 7 months or something, 8 months. I think I think you got
that
to
sound
stretch
about
your
right.
time though.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think you got to
yeah, that
stretch your
sound about
time, but
right.
yes,
So,
sir.
so why do you think it's a challenge for you to be positive at all times, being a barber and a shop owner?
Man, you gotta stay very, very positive, man. That's how I see it. It's the vibe you bring, you want to come in with good vibes.
Mm-hmm.
You want to come in with a good vibe. You want to come in with good intentions. Just just be positive all the time, man.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to come in with that negativity, then the vibe's gonna change everybody's mood. I usually come in and just try to stir up the vibe or I don't know, get it lit in the shop. This is how barber shop is. We start talking about some crazy stuff, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right, right, right.
Yeah. We talk about everything. We're gonna be here together. We're gonna be here working with each other for a while, couple of days, or every day we see each other, man. We
Uh-huh.
just start talking about some stuff that goes on and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. I like it, man. I like my job, to be honest. I like this, you gotta love what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I could say barbering, man, it took me a long way. I never thought I would be a barber. Going back to that answer.
Right, 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 right. So I definitely feel you on being positive because you want to make sure that you're not bringing the mood and the atmosphere down in your barbershop. But like, how do you balance, you know, wearing your emotions on your sleeve? Because we all human and we go through things, and I understand you don't want to bring that energy that you're going through, uh, of things that you might be going through outside of the barbershop into the barbershop. But like,
Hmm.
how do you balance, you know, wearing those emotions on your sleeve and at the same time making sure that you're not always wearing a mask and letting people know that, hey, I am human. I do
Hmm.
have, things going on. Like, how
Yeah,
do you balance the two sides of it, for you
man.
personally?
You multitasking. You multitasking. When some stuff come up while I'm cutting or something, I'll just be like, oh man, I gotta wait till I get home and clock out and then take care of business. Just be patient and because everything's gonna get handled. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Everything's gonna get handled, man. I think I've been through so much where I could control my emotions and everything. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I just usually just chill out, calm down, and just finish what I'm doing. I'm here, trying to set the mood right. So I wouldn't trip on it. I
Hmm.
wouldn't trip on it. I wouldn't trip on it until the end of the day. Or if I'm really going through some stuff, I'll take some days off. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I'm gonna take a day off, rest up, come back a new man or something.
Uh-huh.
Take care of business later.
Hmm.
Yes,
So,
sir.
so do you think that the customer is always right?
Sometime, but mostly, yeah, 90%. Just make sure they're taken care of.
Okay,
But
so
but we always get into it with the customers. There's some things that I don't understand. I'll just ask questions, man. I'll just ask questions. Okay, he makes sense. I always look at every time we talk about something, I always look at two sides of the story.
okay. So
Yes,
so
sir.
if you're dealing with a customer, that's that's in your business that might be getting under your skin, like, are you the same way in terms of like handling, the emotions and handling the energy of that situation? Like, do you wait till you get home to like process the emotions and energy for that? Or like, how do you deal with that if that's happening in the barbershop?
I actually hand things uh more mature now, like I actually handle it pretty good as a businessman should, you don't
Mm-hmm.
let that situation escalate, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think some of my barbers seen some situations and they're like, man, you handled that pretty good, man. You didn't let it escalate or take it to another level, but still they leave here respectfully, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it
And
sounds like you do a good job of, I guess I would call it compartmentalizing, where you can take things that happen and put them in a box and deal with it in a certain way. Then if you really want to, get your energy out about it or your emotions out about it, you wait till the appropriate time to be able to do
yeah,
that.
yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
That make a lot of sense. Um
Yes, sir.
Now I asked you what some of your future goals were, and I know that you just opened up a barbershop, and you mentioned that you wanted to now become a successful barbershop. What's your vision that you see for having a successful barbershop?
Um, a successful barbershop is what I see. It's like if I see all my barbers, see
Mm-hmm.
all my barbers getting booked, getting paid, man, I'm happy for that. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
want to see everybody eating. You know what I mean? And my goal is to like open another one or something, open another business, My goal would never like stop with business, I always try to get it, you know. So having a successful barbershop is as long as the shop get busy and everybody's taking care of their business, everybody stay busy, booked up, man. That's all I want, That's
Mm-hmm.
all I want to see. Everybody's eating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
So
that's my goal with that.
so what's your plans, or what strategies do you have set in place to get there?
Right now, a lot of marketing, a lot of marketing, a lot of marketing. Like if you look at my Instagram page, man, I'm posting up every week, I keep it coming, so people could really see what we do, you
Mm-hmm.
know. People will see what we do, man. I got some talented barbers here, So
Mm-hmm.
so I want everybody to see what we do here, It's not just that one barber that's cold and that shop keep posting up that same barber. I'm posting up everybody, every one of us, so everybody could see what we do, every one of us um show their skills. Everybody got skills here, man. Everybody got different skills.
So do you feel like it's a difference between marketing for yourself, like, what you've had to do traditionally in the past versus, now you marketing for an organization, marketing for a group of people? Like, is there a difference for you?
It's really a challenge for me, man. I actually like doing it.
Okay.
Because, it's a challenge because like you start getting better at what you do,
Mm-hmm.
You're just learning new things as it goes. So I'm like, hey man, I kind of like doing this. So I don't mind doing it. I don't
Mm-hmm.
mind marketing this place. So I mean, it's fun for me, and then I see the process from it too. I see, I'm doing all these things and bro, I see the shops getting busier and busier. New people is coming in. So I guess I'm doing something right. So that is a
Mm-hmm.
great challenge for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't mind doing that.
Now, is it super competitive out there in DFW when I know you said that you enjoy the marketing
Hmm.
side of the business. Is it competitive out there where you are?
It it is. There's so many barbershops out here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, everybody's doing the same thing I'm doing, but out here in DFW, man, we have so many people that live here, bro. It's you know, everybody's
Oh,
gonna eat.
y'all got a big population out there, huh?
Yeah, DFW, man, it's a big city.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, we got Dallas, we got Fort Worth, we got Arlington,
Mm-hmm.
we're in Grand Prairie right here. we're actually in between Dallas and Fort Worth. You know, we're in the middle. You know, mid city. You know,
Mm.
so we get everybody from everywhere in the DFW, and everybody's moving out here fast. You know, this
Oh
place is
yeah,
growing.
I heard about that. Texas is like one of the places in the nation, one of the top places that a lot of people are moving to. I'm in Atlanta, man, so I usually hear people talking about, they either going here or to Houston, or even
Yeah,
Dallas, so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
yeah,
Shoot,
I've been
Dallas is
hearing about that.
Dallas is booming right now, man. You see a lot of more apartments. They're putting apartments everywhere. They're putting businesses everywhere. I mean, everybody's moving here to do something, you know.
Hmm.
This, this is where they want to make their money over here. And this where is that, man. Dallas Fort Worth is booming, you know.
Okay. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
what's some advice that you have for somebody that might be interested in opening up a barber shop? I don't know if you want to get a game away, but if
No, it's cool with me.
somebody
It's cool with me, man. Just don't quit. You know, it's really hard to open up a barbershop. Just don't quit. Hang in there. Make sure you have a structure in place. Make sure, be picky when you hire somebody to join your team. Make sure you build a team. Make sure you market. If you do, if you do, if you do marketing, build a team, have a structure in place, I think you'd be fine, and the location, find
hmm
a great location and make sure all the numbers add up. You don't want to rent a spot that's like 10,000 a month. Like just do your numbers, you just do your numbers, make sure everything fall into place. And I think you'll be okay.
Okay. So I know earlier you had said that you might want to open up another location and then another location.
Yes,
And
sir.
so are you currently working inside of the location that you're at now? Like, do you also cut in there?
Yes, sir. I also cut and a business owner.
Okay, so obviously, if you when you get to that second point, not if, but when you get to that second location, that third location, you won't be able to work inside of all three of them or all four of them, however many you decide to have. Um,
Mhm.
you'll be actually hitting another level, of ownership. Like, have you thought about
Mhm.
what that would be like to manage that type of operation where you have multiple locations but not being
Yeah,
able to
yeah,
work
I
inside
have.
of
I
them?
have. I talked to a couple of my partners about it. And I'm gonna be on a certain percentage on that.
Mm-hmm.
But I also gonna put in my work on that. So
Mm-hmm.
we actually looking at a couple of spots right now. It's coming along. Just it's coming soon. That's all I gotta say. It's coming soon. I don't want to put the word out there yet, but yeah,
Okay.
man. As long as you got a partner that's real, y'all guys are on the same page. And
Mm-hmm.
see where this is going. Um, they'll understand. I mean, we all work as a team, you know, just like opening a business, man, just like the corporate world.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody have their own jobs to do, and certain percentage, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yes, sir. But there's
So,
more coming though.
okay. All right. We'll stay tuned for that, man.
Yes,
Do
sir.
you do you consider yourself an entrepreneur?
Uh, entrepreneurs. Yeah, I guess so, man, because I always I always try to own something.
Right, right, right.
Well, I own this one. I think I did pretty good with this one though. I'm blessed up. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
So what's some of the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur? And I know it's levels to entrepreneurship, but as barbers, we make our own money. We don't necessarily have anybody that's giving us a paycheck or anything like that, so we have to go out and we have to go out and find our customers and make our own money. What's one of the hardest things that you've uh, learned so far about being an entrepreneur, about being somebody that makes their own money?
Man, I learned a lot being a business owner, man. You gotta have a different mindset, man. You gotta think about the business part of everything,
Mm-hmm.
and how and marketing. I learned a lot from marketing, business standpoint, and just like they said, man. You want to be a boss, you got to think like a boss.
Mm-hmm. That's facts.
You,
That's
you,
facts.
you can't be real. You can't be real chill sometimes, man. Sometimes you got to be the bad guy as being the boss.
Mm.
Sometimes you gotta. Sometimes you really got to put your foot down on some things.
Hey, give me an example of, a situation where you might got to be a bad guy, because that really resonated. Sometimes people, they might not understand the shoes that you in, and so to
Mm-hmm.
them you come off like a bad guy. Have you ever been looked at as a bad guy
It's
before?
well over here is at Top Notch since I opened, it hasn't really been that bad. It's just a lot of small things, you know what I mean? Simple stuff like cleaning after yourself, make sure you take care of these clients, make sure good music, you know, positive music is on, especially when kids are around, you don't want to put on something crazy, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We have a big old TV here, so um, it just some of the things like, let's not get too comfortable to put like all this different type of music on TV, when
Mm-hmm.
kids are here, what I mean? You know what I mean?
Oh
Like
yeah,
cuss
for sure.
words and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
that,
definitely.
you know. And these music videos nowadays is different, you know what I mean?
Man,
You don't
showing
want
everything.
you know what I mean? So you don't want the moms, you don't want the kids to
Right.
actually, mom's probably looking at the TV like, what are y'all playing here? You know what I mean? So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, just little stuff like that. I have to put my foot down and be like, hey man, let's go ahead and just change it and put on something soft. Sometimes make sure we notice all these walk-ins that come in.
And
Keep
some
keep
so
your
and
place
sometimes
clean.
so sometimes you got to be that make you look like the bad guy sometimes.
Well, sometimes they're like, oh man, the music doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. Sometimes you
Hey,
gotta
hey,
look
if
at
they
the
listening,
kids.
hey, the music matters. The music
Music matters
matters.
because I see these kids' faces when they come in. Yeah, they like that music video, you know what I mean? But
Right.
the folks are like, "What? Can you change that?" You know what I mean? I want everybody to feel comfortable in here, and that's the key, But the music we put on here is not so bad. It's pretty good, man. It's for everybody, and that's what I like about this place, man. I actually like it because moms come in here and feel comfortable coming in here with kids,
Hmm.
families coming here, man.
Hmm.
So I'm a family man myself, so I know how it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, you had mentioned something a little second ago, as you were describing your challenges about being an entrepreneur. You said that it's a different mindset. And,
Hmm.
as barbers, I don't know if you've ever read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, but um, as barbers, we are pretty much self-employed, and we trade
Hmm.
our time for money. So
Hmm.
if we don't work, we don't eat.
Hmm.
But now it seems like you are transitioning from trading your time for money to creating a system or a business that makes money for you. And
Hmm.
the mindset that it takes to manage a system or a business that makes money for you versus the mindset of a person that's trading their time for money are two different types of mindsets. So, could you elaborate a little bit more, like when you said there's a different mindset that you have to be a business owner? Like, explain like that shift that you're going through right now.
Well, everybody don't want to work for a
Hmm.
long time. Everybody, eventually want to retire,
Retire.
especially
Yeah,
us
we
as
want to
barbers.
retire.
Yeah, especially us as barbers, you know what I mean? Especially us as barbers. We hear all the time, man, how long we gonna do this for? You know what I mean? How long can you stand on your feet for?
Hmm.
Eventually, I wanna be set to where man, I could actually kick back and chill, make the money come for me now. You know what I mean? Because I done put in so much work, you know. So what do I have to do to get myself there? You know, you just gotta kind of look at it in a different point of view. You know what I mean? As a business point of view, um, just kind of change up your mindset and look in the long run. You know, most of the people that is barbering, you know, they want to get that money like, you know, every day. You know, I used to be that guy. You know, man, I'm making money every day, so I'm spending every day too. You know,
Right,
so
right,
now
right.
you gotta kind of have that different mindset to where, man, I'm putting money up and putting money where it's building itself. You know, you're getting
Mm-hmm.
paid too. You know what I mean? You're getting paid for doing nothing. You know what I mean? So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think opening up, getting to a lot of different businesses under your belt, you know, before you could relax. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
we don't put in that work for as a barber. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how long I'm gonna be doing this for. My back's already going out, man. My knees locking up, you know.
Right, right, right.
Yes, sir.
So,
So I mean, just the hustle of it, you know.
right. Now I get it, man. I definitely understand. Um, so do you ever struggle with wanting to be hands-on with everything? Because obviously, as barbers and being self-employed, we have to be hands-on and actually a lot of us probably really enjoy being hands-on. A lot of us are probably described as being a perfectionist and wanting everything to be perfect. But when
Hmm.
it comes to being a business owner, or for us to transition to that mindset of being a business owner, we actually have to learn how to become hands off so that we can see if it works without us. Because if we keep
Yeah.
being hands on and keep being hands on, then you know we just go right back to where we doing it ourselves, but it's kind of defeating the purpose of seeing if it can work without us. Like, do you struggle with being hands on, or is that something that you think is going to be a struggle for you as you transition into being a business owner?
I do. I do. I'm a hands-on dude, but there's times, just like you say, man, you got to take a step back, you know. You got to take a
Mm-hmm.
step back and kind of watch how everything moves, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's most of the time I do that a lot, man. I got better at it at first. When I first opened the shop, I wanted some certain way, boom, boom, boom. So I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna start taking steps back and see how it rocks, you know. So if the business is doing good, man, I don't need to be keep stepping on that, you know, that that way.
Right,
So
right,
I do
right.
I do take steps back. Yeah, I do take step back and watch how things are. Cause you get in that zone, you know, that tunnel vision.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get in that tunnel vision for too long, man, just take a step back, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
You're right.
sir.
Right. So, what was I going to ask? I heard someone say that you have a successful business when you can leave the business for a certain amount of time, and when you come back, the business actually grew. Like, it grew without you. Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. You know, I want to get to that point on that level too, you know. Once you have everything set and people can run it. Let's say if I take a vacation, man, I'll just hope my guys run the shop just like how I run it if I was here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's yeah, you good. You good when you're on that level, you know.
Mm-hmm. So, what what would you think, speaking to any barbers out there that might be in the process or in the same stage, that you are right now, or, speaking to a barber that may have another business in the barber industry where they're trying to transition from being hands-on to um, becoming hands-off and still seeing a business that can operate. Like, what kind of systems would you say need to be put in place for that to work? Because
Um,
you just mentioned that, hey, when I leave, and come back, I want the barber still to operate it, the way I would. Like that sounds like a system. Like what type of system would be in place for that to happen?
Well, that's a structure you got to put in place. Like how you want your shop, you got to kind of put that structure in place. As
Mm-hmm.
long as they follow that from day one, you could step away and it's still going. You know what I mean? That's
Mm-hmm.
that structure that you need in the shop. That's that team that you need to build. As long as you
Mm-hmm.
got that good team that follows the structure, the instructions, man, you good. I think you'd be all right. Taking a step away, taking a vacation, coming back, and things are running smoothly.
Mm-hmm. Are you guys using a lot of any types of technology, like any type of software, or I know you
No.
mentioned social media earlier. You
Mhm.
said you post on social media a lot. How much has technology been involved in, your business systems or your barber business?
Technology, man. Social media is the main thing that I use. Social media,
Mm-hmm.
a little marketing here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like I said, the structure to get put in place, man, you just gotta kind of, we have monthly meetings here,
Mm-hmm.
to kind of, monthly meetings to make sure everybody's on the same page each month, and then we
Mm-hmm.
go over some of the stuff that we need to work on, or hey, we did good this month. It's just a regular meeting that we do every month
Mm-hmm.
and make sure everybody's on the same page and get updates, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
I mean, it's working for us so far.
mhm. Do you guys use online appointment booking systems, or do you guys just take walk-ins at your barbershop?
We take walk-ins here. Everyone here have their own booking system.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you want to book, I got a website, Top Notch Barbers, gp.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can book your appointments there also. Everybody have their own individual barber booking system.
Okay. How
So
has your you mentioned you got a website. Does
yes,
your
sir.
website play a big role in your marketing or for your barber business or anything like that?
Yes, sir. I think it's one of the plus that, I'm glad I put a website there because people people be calling up here and trying to book an appointment, and I'm over here like, hey, who got an opening? Who got an opening for this time? Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'll just be like, hey man, you can get on the web, you know, and pick your barber and go ahead and book. It's easier, bro. It's way easier, and I see the process with that. A lot of people is getting booked off online, so
Mm-hmm.
online is very good. It's working good for me.
Facts. That's I bet it is.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about some of the new technology that's coming out? I'm not sure if you're familiar with artificial intelligence,
Oh.
or if you've seen anything like that. Like, what's been your experience with artificial intelligence? Have you heard about it? Have you used
hmm
it at all?
I heard about it, but I mean, I'm not much into it yet. I haven't really got into it,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, I think it's pretty good. I don't know, man. People are using it right now. I'm kind of slow on that technology part.
On the technology side of things, yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think a lot of barbers, I think a lot of barbers are going to be in for an awakening with artificial intelligence, similar to how a lot of barbers was in for an awakening when it came to social media back in 2008 and 2009.
Mm,
When social media first came out, a lot of barbers, rejected it. I remember being in a barbershop talking about Twitter, and I was like, hey man, um, we gonna start sending tweets to everybody. And they're like, sending tweets, man. They tried to clown me, like, man, this dude talk about Twitter and tweets. And then like 2, 3 weeks later, they came back and they was like, dang, man, we really is. This Twitter is about to be something big. And so, I'm like, yeah, like this social media era is about to be a big thing. Facebook was out, Twitter was out, Instagram wasn't even out back then. Back then it was just Facebook
yeah.
and Twitter.
Yep.
But right now, artificial intelligence is coming in to play. And I've been speaking with barbers from all over, and the majority of them are kind of like you, like they haven't really tapped into it, but some of them have actually started using artificial intelligence. And I think that we're going into um another evolution of barbering. So for let me give you an example. So you said you do a lot of posting on social media.
Yes, sir.
um yeah, so artificial intelligence is about to equalize the playing field when it comes to putting content out on social media. So just to give you an example, you say, I put content out every week, you can have artificial intelligence do that for you now. You know,
Damn.
yeah, so
See, I mean, I haven't got on that level yet, but yeah, I'm pretty sure, man. I'm pretty sure everybody's using that AI right now, you know.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I think that's pretty cool too, man. That's that's some smart stuff.
Yeah, man. And as barbers, we normally focus as a collective. We typically, we used to just focus on the haircuts, and
Hmm.
then, now we focusing on haircuts and social media,
Hmm.
because we realize,
Marketing.
yeah,
Yep.
that's the marketing. That's the way to get the people to come and sit in the chair.
Yep. That's the only way. Yep.
But now,
Marketing.
the artificial intelligence is about to come into play, and it's gonna start changing some things up. That's what I
I
think
bet.
about it.
Well, at the same time, man, you can use AI all you want, but when somebody come to you in person,
Hmm.
got to give that same energy as you do with the AI.
Right.
Now, if you don't have the same energy as the AI, and the dude come in, you don't have no conversation skills or nothing. Like, bro, you know what I mean? They gotta work. They gotta work together, man. You know, you got to do the same thing. You know
No,
what I'm
I agree.
saying?
I agree with you, and I think it's gonna be it's gonna take a little bit of time. You know, it's not gonna happen overnight. Um, somebody I was talking to, they said, well, if you use AI, it's not gonna have no emotion in it, and you're gonna be able to tell it's a computer, that's really giving you feedback or giving you answer. And that's true right now, but as fast as it's moving along, and with some of the things that it's been doing in the past 12 months, it's moving real fast. And so one of the reasons that we are doing a show is because we want to talk about how technology is impacting barbering. And if if barbers are not familiar with artificial intelligence, um, it could possibly become a handicap to some of the barbers who don't think about, or who don't think it's important, because it's going to be important for even somebody like you that's going to open up multiple businesses. It's going to be involved in your processes and your systems. You might have to hire somebody, but instead of hiring somebody, you can
You
have
got
AI.
AI.
You can have
Yeah.
AI do it for you.
I mean, I kind of hear about it. And I'll probably look it up. I'll probably do more research on it after this, you know.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
I haven't used it a whole lot. I mean, well, let me take that back. I use it often. I use it frequently. On the things that I can use, the number one thing that I use it for right now, is basically just to help me generate ideas and write different things out in terms of like my website. If I wanted to write something on my website, I use it for the website. Or if I want to write a post for social media, I
Mhm.
use it to help me write a post or something like that. So, it's going to be interesting to see how much AI is involved in our barber businesses in the future.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for it, man. You got to learn new things, man. You know what I mean? You got to learn new things and level up on things like that, man. You got to know what's going on around you, you know?
Right, right,
I think that
right.
will help us out. I think that will help us out a lot, you know?
So I was gonna ask you, but it sounds like you for AI. Some people, some barbers that I speak to,
Yeah.
some barbers that I speak to, they say that they don't want AI to come into the industry. Like, are you for
Man,
AI or against AI?
man, I'm probably with it because I mean, we're living in this generation where, man, it's technology is key, like it's gonna be more than that, beyond that, So I'm
Uh-huh.
with it. I think it's a new thing. It's a
Okay.
new thing. It's a new thing we gotta get used to, man. Like all these other things that we have now, social media, Zoom, all that stuff wasn't here for us back then. We got to get used to all these things,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's cool. It's actually cool to me.
You seen the headsets that the virtual reality headsets that
Yeah, the
that
VRs.
yeah, the VRs and stuff. Do you get into that type of stuff?
Nah, I ain't got one. That's too much for me right now.
It's too much money, yeah.
But I do. I mean, not right
Well,
now. But if I have time, I'll try it.
they got the Oculus,
The
the
Oculus, yeah.
yeah, I think that's not as expensive as the Apple headsets, but
I think the Apple one is more cool because you could actually do a lot of things on there, right?
oh
You can do
yeah.
a whole
I mean,
lot.
I haven't tested it out yet, but from looking at the commercials, man, it's crazy. It's like you just tapping on stuff in the air.
I think you can walk with them and they'll tell you what's around. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Hey
That
man,
was pretty cool.
can you see barbers using those when they cut hair?
Right now, if somebody use it right now, yeah, I'm gonna be laughing. I'm gonna be laughing like crazy, like, bro, you extra, you know what I mean?
Right,
But you
right,
ain't gonna
right,
catch me wearing that yet, you know what I mean?
right.
You ain't gonna see me in the streets wearing them goggles yet. No, not yet. Not yet,
Hey, on the
But
flip
yeah, I think
side,
it's pretty cool. But it,
yeah,
it, it ain't for me yet.
on the flip side though, one barber I talked to, he said, imagine going into a barber shop and as a customer, imagine going into the barber shop as a customer and the customer is sitting in the waiting area, but instead of picking up a magazine, instead of turning on a TV, you got a set of virtual reality headsets or goggles that the customer can put on while they're in the waiting area, and now they can get like a customized experience inside of your virtual reality barbershop while they waiting to get their hair cut.
Hey, that'd be pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty cool, man. That'd be better than having a PS5 on TV, you know what I mean? Or an arcade
yeah.
game. I think that'd be pretty cool, man. That's something I need to think about. I might put one or two
Right,
there,
right, right. Giving the game out,
but
man.
somebody probably gonna walk out with them, you know what I mean?
Hey, well, yeah, you do it like how they got it at the Apple store. They got the
Oh,
little chain, yeah, the little chain on
hey, for
it.
real, put a chain on them, right?
Right.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah, you're
man.
right.
So yeah, man, just stay on the lookout, man. Because I think it's important as barbers that we stay up to date with certain trends and technologies because some of them we can't stop. It's like full steam ahead and we just don't have the ability to stop it.
Yes, sir. I try to stay on top of it every day on this technology, man. But it is moving fast, bro. You know what I mean?
For
And I'm
sure.
glad I live in Dallas, like a big enough city where we could get we get a lot of stuff first also.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, well, look, man, we want to move into another segment where we like to learn a little bit more about your likes and your dislikes and opinions on different hot topics. We call this segment "That's a Bet" podcast trivia.
All
So,
right.
so I just want to ask you a few questions, and the way that it's set up is it's an either or type of question. So I'm gonna give you two options, and you just tell me which one you choose, and then we'll ask you why you chose that option so that we can learn a little bit more about you. Is that okay?
All right, let's do
All right, so I'm gonna start off with something easy, and then we can see if we can challenge you a little bit more.
it. All right, let's go.
All right, so the first one we'll go with is see, booth rent or commission.
Booth rent.
Okay, why you say booth rent?
Man, because booth rent, you make your own money. All
Mm-hmm.
you gotta do is pay that fee, and the rest is yours.
He said pay that fee.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. See, Android or Apple?
Apple.
Team Apple.
Yeah, I'm Team Apple, man. I can't work with an Android. Apple was easier. I
So,
don't know. I never had an Android, so I mean, I really
oh,
can't tell you much about it, you know?
okay. So yeah, hey man, you said you was loyal earlier, so you real loyal.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
so
sir.
that's what I'm saying. So they come out with that iPhone 26, you gonna still be with the iPhone 26.
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll still be on my 13 right now.
All right. Let's go with walk-ins or appointments.
Appointments. Well, shoot, that's a hard one. Walk-ins,
Still on that podcast?
yeah. Walk-ins or appointments, that's a hard one, man. Appointments are guaranteed money, you know. You guaranteed you set. Appointments, I mean, walk-ins are potential clients, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So you don't know who's gonna come in that chair and be your client, you know. I mean, I
Right.
kind of like that too, you know. I like getting new people, but every time clients come in, man, I have a good conversation with them and get to know them, you know. So
Okay.
man, that one is either way, bro. Either way
Okay.
with me.
Okay. Instagram or TikTok?
Instagram, I really don't know how to work TikTok too much. Instagram is my go-to on everything.
Okay. And you see they just signed a law to ban TikTok in 9 months if they don't sell it. Did you see
I
that?
know, and I ain't tripping, you know. I ain't really into TikTok like that. You know, there's people that's like, "Oh man, TikTok's going out." Hey, I'm Instagram, you know.
All right. Okay. I got a couple more for you. Uh, time freedom or debt freedom?
The what? Time freedom or debt freedom?
Yeah.
Time freedom or debt freedom? Time,
Have the freedom to do whatever you want with your time, or have the no debt.
no debt, man. I think that's the easy one. No debt. Like you know, you don't want to think about you owing some, you know, you know. So debt free is great. I can do whatever I want to do, you know.
Okay. Okay. And then the last one we'll go with is Babyliss Pro or Andis Clippers.
Andy's, man. I'm an Andy's master guy.
Okay, Team
You know,
Andis. Why you choose
so
Andis over Babyliss?
it's an American machine. You know,
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely
yes,
classic.
sir. Yeah, it's a classic, man. I use it for all my. I use it a lot, man. So I like Andy's.
Okay. Hey, look,
It's one
I
of my
want
clippers that I go to though. You know,
right,
but I do
right.
use Babyliss. I use Babyliss trimmers though. You know.
Okay. Okay. All right. Look, I want to ask you one more because I'll be interested on your take on this one. Um,
Okay.
get a barber's license or deregulate the industry.
What do you mean by that?
So get a barber's license or make it so that nobody has to get a license.
Oh man, you need barber license, bro. You need that, man. You learn a lot from getting a barber license, man. You know, you learn a lot from school. You learn a lot from that textbook stuff you need to know, bro, before
Mm-hmm.
you be a barber. People don't think so. They think a fade is a fade, man. It got a lot to go into a haircut, bro. You know, it's not just a fade, man. You really got to be an artist at this work, you know, to be successful. You know, that
Right.
vision, like I said earlier, that vision you have
Uh-huh.
on pushing out these great haircuts, man. You I mean it's all in the textbook, you know. You gotta learn these things, man. You know,
Okay.
have
So
knowing how to fade is a first, like, you know, that's the first step. But man, there's a lot of steps to being a great barber, you know.
right, right. So would you be in favor of an apprenticeship program?
No.
No.
I think you need to go to school first. You know what I mean? I
Okay.
mean, you can learn some stuff from me. I'm always gonna tell you how to, like, how I would do it, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But it ain't for everybody. But to find yourself and to find your own skills, man, I think you need to go to school and just put in that work, and then you will learn that from experience, you know?
Right, right,
Learn
right.
that on your own. That's the
Okay.
best way of learning.
Okay. Okay. All right, man. Well, it's been great talking to you, man. How can anybody that's watching or any barbers that want to reach out to you, how can they contact you?
They can follow me on Instagram, you know, Alan the Great GP. You can find me there. Um, you can find me on my website, Top Notch Barbers with a S, gp.com. Um, you can find us on TikTok. You know, you can find me on TikTok, both Top Notch Barbers and Alan the Great, you know, and if you anybody interested in S&P, you can find me on my page, Ink Defeated, you know, Ink, INKDFTD. That's our, and just book a class with us, man. We'll get on it.
All right, bet, man, bet. So, all right, that's all the time that we have for today. Make sure you guys catch us on the next episode where we talk about the intersection between barbering, entrepreneurship, and technology. Because as always, that's a bet. All right,
That's a
man.
bet.
Hi,
Bet
yeah, that's
that.
a bet. Hey, man, I appreciate you for hopping on with us today, man. How you feeling over there?
I'm feeling good, man.
Oh man, the phone, your battery went out right at the end. Hey, so I guess we timed it out. Hey man, anybody that's watching here in the chat, man, appreciate you hopping on. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you got any questions for us, leave it in the comments.